Hey guys, welcome back to V's Corner, Chile to US and back again. Um, I left off on Ed finding out that I had cheated on him and he stole my car, stole my money, took off. Um, so now I'm trying to figure out like what to do, because like he's he's off MIA and I don't know what to do. So I called his mom and I guess he had called his mom to tell her, and she knew. So, obviously, like all mom. I mean, if my kid comes to me and tells me he's got drama with his baby mom and tells me he cheated on her, well, of course I'm going to defend my kid. I'm not going to tell him it's okay. But you're always going to want to defend your kid. I mean, you're never going to want. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't defend him. I don't know what I would do right now. But his mom defended him, and she said, well, if you wouldn't have cheated on him, basically she said if you wouldn't have cheated on him, this wouldn't have happened. Okay, come on. He went to jail almost 2 years. I'm in another city. I mean, I don't know if he's coming back to me. I know he's supposed to be stuck in California. You know what I mean? It's like you never know what's going to happen, and life happens too. And when you're young, feelings, emotions, stuff happens. Well, anyways, the fact that this happened, so now I'm on top of this. I'm really hooked on the speed now. So I'm basically always high. I'm trying to take care of my kids. I'm working all the time. And my life starts just to get more hectic because now not only, I mean, do I have to worry about money for my life, my work, I mean, my house, my rent, my car payment, all this stuff, but now I got to worry about, I have to have enough money for the drugs because now I'm at this point where I need to be high all the time. And if I'm not high, I am not a happy person. I was always, I don't know, plus the fact that you got 3 kids to worry about and you have to get up in the morning and you have to worry about them to going to school, and then on top of that you have to get ready for work, and or you got to take them to my mom. It was always so much to do, you know what I mean? And as a single parent and not having anybody to help you, it was a hassle. On top of that, with my mom, that's another story because my mom always wanted to control me. I'm not going to say she didn't do a good job. She always helped me. She always found a way to make sure that my kids never needed anything and I never needed anything. But she was also very patient with my drug problem too. She really did try to help me. She pushed me to get to rehab. She locked me in rooms. I mean, she always did what she could. But so now it's disappeared. I am all on my own. I have a drug problem and I'm trying to get by. I'm trying to live day by day. Um, I'm a very dependent on men at this point. I feel like I can't be with myself only and my kids. I needed somebody. Like, I always had to have a man in my life. So, believe me, time did not pass between relationships. So now it's gone. I'm on my own. I'm going through all this, and I'm at work, and I meet this young, handsome guy. Younger than me, and he sees me like always high and stuff. Starts asking me questions, and we start going out. Whatever. Little by little, we start, dating and working together at the same time. Like, I think I had night shifts, like late shifts, and he would have late shifts too, so we would get off and go party or whatever. Yeah, this was like the beginning of the problems with my parents too, because now I'm like not coming home straight from work. They're got all this 3 kids to take care of, and I'm out there partying. Yeah. So I meet this guy, and I get all tangled up in this guy, as usual. Um, and this guy starts to. His name was John. Let's give him John. Um, he starts to take me everywhere. We go out. I meet his parents. I meet his family. You know what I mean? His mom. His mom he had a single mom. She was a single mom, I think. Yeah. Um, the thing is, he lived kind of far, you know what I mean? But like, we had a pretty cool, fun relationship. Couldn't complain, you know what I mean? And the fact that he worked too, I didn't have to pay for everything, you know? Um, but then all of a sudden, it just started getting more, serious. And I'm starting to have more problems with my parents. So I just take off with the kids and go to his house, spend days over there at a time, go to work from there, and like his mom would take care of my kids. I mean, it was kind of like, it was all weird. And at the same time, I'm doing drugs behind his back because this guy doesn't do drugs, I don't think. I don't remember that him doing drugs. I think like if he's anything, he smoked cigarettes or something, but I was the one always, and I had to always have it. So, I mean, behind his back, I'm over here like always getting high. And now, I mean, it's like basically I was just used to it. I knew how to function. I just knew how to function, I mean, like I knew what my dosage was and I knew how to. And then, like, when I would get too bad, I would just have to find a way to calm down and go to sleep. But like I said, I had it under control. Says every drug addict. And so now this guy, is like starting to get more jealous, because I'm disappearing to go get stuff. And sometimes, like, and sometimes when you were to go get speed, I don't know if you people who are watching this and you guys had a drug dealer, I don't know about any of you, but like my speed dealer was not the fastest person. And I mean, I've had a lot of them, and I remember like they all took their time, and then plus on top of that, they be smoking, and then they smoke with you, and then, like while they're setting everything up and doing 20 million things at a time. So it's like, it's not easy to just, it's not like a weed dealer, you just go hurry up and get your weed and you leave. No, it's like your speed dealer is usually a lot, especially if, like you always get the hookup. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. Well, anyways, so he's getting really jealous and stuff. So now it's getting harder, and he was also very abusive. He started pulling my hair, grabbing my arm and stuff. And one day he actually just kidnapped us. Literally, he kidnapped us. Took me and the kids. We left to his house. And don't ask me what happened, why we fought, what happened. But the fact is that he ended locking me up in the house and I couldn't even leave. The only thing that saved me was my mom. Because forever, me and my mom talk almost every day. And at that time, it was every day. We talked to each other every day. We lived together. It's like she knew where I was at all times. So for me to disappear, my mom, she went and she found a way to find me. Well, while they're looking for me, and I'm over here kidnapped with my 2 children, because at this time, Jocelyn was always very well protected by my parents. And Alyssa and Ed, they were just mine. They went with me wherever I went. And he locked us in a room and he tortured me and in front of my kids. Remember, he broke a fan on my back. I remember he would tell my kids, do you want to see me kill her? You think back and you say, what the hell was I thinking? Or now you see a movie and you're like, God, what's wrong with you? Why are you there? You don't know what the hell's going on until you're there, you know what I mean? And at this point, I can't leave. I can't just walk out. He has me locked in the room with my kids. And details, don't ask me. I don't really remember. Like, a lot of stuff I think I block out. But I remember that there was a knock on the door, like a couple days later. Knock on the door, and my mom. It was my mom, I think, with my dad and my brother-in-law, Danny, at that time. And they got him to let me out. I don't know how they did it. It was a big fight too, and calling cops and everything. And finally they let us out, and my mom was like, don't you ever go back with him again. Don't do the same thing you did with him. Yeah. Well, a couple weeks passed, and now I'm, starting to feel weird and stuff. And guess what? Pregnant. Of course you are. What else could happen to you? Yes, now I'm pregnant. So now I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't want this baby. And I tell my mom, and when I actually find out that I'm already 4 months pregnant. Great. So, when I go to find out how much it is to get an abortion, it's way too much money. My mom talked to, she had contacts. She found a place, a church, Catholic church, where I could give the baby up for adoption. It was like the next thing I could do. So I'm still doing drugs on top of this, okay? So now I'm doing drugs and stuff, and I'm going back to work, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do because I can't tell my dad that I'm pregnant again. So now I have to save up the money so I can get out and go live somewhere. So on top of all this, like, this guy's obsessed with me, and at work people knew that I was pregnant, and because I had a big mouth. I've always had a big mouth, so you never should tell people stuff. But yeah, I told one person told another, and you know how it works, especially at Walmart. He found out, and me and my friend Allison at that time, we had got off work, we went to go have a beer, went to go play, gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Okay, we would go and play, we play a couple, hands of poker on the machines, have our beer, and then we were on our way home. She was taking me home. And when I get home, all of a sudden, I'm opening the door, and this guy attacks me, and I'm like, what the hell? And he starts attacking me, and he has a knife in his hand, and he's trying to hit me, and I just remember right before this, okay, I just remember him like fighting, and then all of a sudden, she calls Allison on the phone. She's in the car, and she's calling my mom, and she's calling my mom. It was just so weird. I just remember that, like, my mom came while he was like attacking me with the knife, and remember those big brick phones that you had? But we had like but they wasn't even a big brick phone. It was just like the ones that you charged, but and I just saw her hitting him with it, and I just was seeing knives and phones fighting and like hitting. It was the weirdest thing. And then all of a sudden I just saw my mom grab me, and we went upstairs. Allison took off, cops came, my dad realized what was going on, and we realized that this motherfucker's crazy. So I don't know, I think they ended up catching him, and I think he ended up only like doing 6 months, but now I'm terrified. So what they did is, this church, it's a Catholic, I can't remember what it's called, Catholic Charities. They did this whole thing where they paid for me to stay at Shelter Island. It's like a little, like those apart hotel places, like, that you can live. And they paid for everything, and they paid for my food, so all my money was going to me. And now, yes, I know many of you are going to be like, what is wrong with you? Why? Or hate me, or who knows. But yeah, I was doing drugs my whole pregnancy. I couldn't stop. I was addicted. I mean, there was no way I could stop now. I mean, I was already 4 months pregnant. I found out. I tried to slow down. I couldn't. On top of that, I'm smoking like a freaking chimney, because when you're tweaking, you smoke. So yeah. But during this time, I meet this other guy. Like I said, too much time can't pass between me and needing somebody else to be in my life. I meet this other guy that, for some reason, happens to know Ed, my second baby daddy. So he knows him. They grew up together. I don't know. They played football, soccer, baseball. They played baseball together, and so this guy pops into my life, and he has speed all the time. We start going to bars, we start kicking it, and I tell him that I'm pregnant. He's like, oh my God, and I'm giving you drugs. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? And I explain him this whole situation. We hook up, of course, because he helps me out in the end with all of this that's going to happen. So now I'm meet a new guy. This is Jess. And he takes over my drug problem. He makes sure that I never need it anymore. On top of that, I'm pregnant with somebody else's kid. I can't stop doing drugs, and I'm giving it up for adoption. And I'm in constant contact with this family. So guilt ridden I am. But I couldn't stop. I really tried. I really, really tried. I mean, I even tried like the month before. The month before, I really tried to slow down as much as I could, but there was no way. Unfortunately, when I was about to have the baby, I had the baby and everything, and the baby was born with the shakes. He was born addicted to methamphetamine. And right when you have the baby and you're about to give it up for adoption, they give you the baby. Like, they offer you the baby. Do you want to say goodbye? You can say goodbye, or you don't have to. My mom told me not to. My mom said, don't say goodbye. Nothing. You just don't, nothing. If they ask you, no, because you'll change your mind. She said, you'll change your mind. She said, no, just don't do it. But you know what? I felt nothing for that baby the whole time I was pregnant. I don't know if it was because it was him that hurt me and my kids, or if it was the drugs, but I felt nothing. Nothing at all. I mean, it was just like, I felt guilty, but like love or care for that baby, nothing. And I hurt for that, because I feel like I should have felt something, but I didn't. But I had to say goodbye, and I did. And I went into the room with him, and I told him that I was sorry for everything I did and why I couldn't be with him. I told him that his father was an asshole, and that I hope that he doesn't get any of his father in him, but that I really tried really hard to love him, but I couldn't. And that I hope I'm giving him, and that the fact that I love him enough to give him to somebody who will love him. Yeah, make yourself feel better about it, but I still can't. I also sent him a letter. I mean, this Catholic Charities place, they're really organized. They give you like till he's 18, I think. When he's 18, I guess if he wants to look for me, he will. Anyways, so yeah, I gave up a baby for adoption. I know nothing of him. I asked not to. I figure if an emergency comes up and he wants to find me, and I'm sure I don't really know what's going to happen if he does, because I don't know what I feel right now. But I mean, just talking about it kind of even like gives me like the chills. But yeah, I did that. So after this, now I'm staying there, but now I have to pay myself, because I have a drug problem. I don't know what else to do, and I'm living with my drug dealer. So that's now another story. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, getting a kick out of my life. And I don't know how I can help you, but I really hope I can. So go ahead and like this for me, please, and subscribe. And part to be continued.